Trojan Sports Now.
After their first victory, the Trojans took a rough loss this past Saturday against Appalachian State. With only 5 games left in the season, the Trojan football team is looking to win against South Alabama on the Jaguars' home turf. With a quick week to prepare for a Friday night game, the Trojan football team will head to Mobile to face South Alabama. Head coach Larry Blakeney knows what his team needs to do in order to get back in the win column.
We got to compete better. We got to give them better plans and coach better, and hopefully find a way to give them a chance to experience singing a fight song again. That's my favorite time.
Last year, Troy took on South Alabama in Troy for homecoming. It came down to the last minutes of the game, and Troy came away with a 34-33 victory.
I'm sure that they felt like they got robbed up here last year, basically, because they played well enough to win the game, and we sort of stole it from them late.
This is the 3rd year in a row for these two teams to meet, and the in-state rivalry has become not only a rivalry among players, but also among students and fans.
It's a huge rivalry for us, in my opinion. I know up front we're really excited to play. You know, we know a bunch of the guys that we played against them in high school, or just through different things we've known them because they're in the same area as we are. But I think it's a huge rivalry for our students too. I mean, there's kind of back and forth about who's better, South or Troy. So yeah, it's really exciting. It's a big week for us, and it's something to really get pumped about.
The team is looking to add another victory as they stand at 1-6.
The soccer team will look to improve on their struggling away record as they travel to Little Rock, Arkansas to play ULR Trojans this weekend. ULR, like Troy, is undefeated at home with a season record of 11-5, while the Trojans are 12-5. Away, Troy struggles with a record of 1-5. The Trojans will then turn around and head to Jonesboro, Arkansas to play Arkansas State. The Red Wolves have had a struggling season with a record of 4-12, while their home record is 2-6. Even though Arkansas State has had a tough season, head coach Jason Hamilton says that the team is just as dangerous as any other.
That's a team that, they've surprised some people. They're in every single game. They're going to battle, and it's teams that don't have much to play for because they're depending on how they do Friday night, they could be mathematically eliminated from the tournament. Teams that don't have anything to play for are just as dangerous because they're just going to come out there and they want to end their season on a high note. Everyone else is going to have another game in the following weekend, and they're not. So they're going to want to end their season on a positive and get a win and be at home. So it's anytime you're on the road is never easy, but when you're playing teams that are where those two teams are, it's going to be a difficult one.
The Troy soccer team will play both ULR and Arkansas State this weekend.
The volleyball team is looking to bounce back after tough losses throughout conference play. The team takes the court again at home, but this time against conference foe Georgia State. Georgia State is currently 3-7 in conference play with an overall record of 5-14. They sit in 9th place in the conference, while Troy is in last place with a conference record of 1-11. The overall record for the Trojans is 9-15, and head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick expects a great turnout for the game, just like normal.
I hope they're as great as ever. It's a Saturday night match. We only have one this weekend, so we kind of battle against college football, but our fans have been great all year. I would expect Saturday to be no less than what we've had the entire year.
The Trojans have 1,150 kills on the season and 1,063 assists.
The men and women's tennis team will be traveling to the Big Easy Tennis Classic this weekend in New Orleans. The University of New Orleans will be hosting the event, and schools such as Louisiana Monroe, Louisiana Lafayette, Xavier, and Loyola will be attending. However, for the men's team, Gabriel Siaka Diaz is still injured after injuring his foot at the ITA Southern Regional Championship and will not be able to participate. Both the men and women's team will compete this weekend.
It's been a couple of weeks since the men's golf team has competed, and they are preparing for their next tournament. The team will compete at the Intercollegiate at the Grove, hosted by Middle Tennessee and College Grove, Tennessee. At the last tournament, the Trojans came in 4th in a field of 12. In this upcoming tournament, Troy will face JRU Augusta, Ohio State, Mississippi State, Southern Miss, Tulsa, and the College of Charleston. And head coach Matt Terry said his team is ready to get back in action.
We're just ready to get going again this semester. This will be our 4th tournament that we've played with a little bit of a break in between that. Hopefully this week's practice is going to be a good one, and we'll leave Friday and get started Sunday, Monday, Tuesday with a 3-day event at the Grove. Middle Tennessee's hosting. Good golf course. It's only 2 years old. Should be a solid field.
In the last 3 tournaments, the men's team has finished in 4th twice and also in 3rd. And every week we'll be taking a look at our former Trojan football players and how they are doing.
Jacob Harrison gives us a look at this week's Trojan in the pros.
Thanks, guys. There is a Hall of Fame caliber player in Denver making a lot of headlines, but I'm not talking about Peyton. DeMarcus Ware is having a great year in his first season with the Denver Broncos. Through just 6 games, Ware has racked up 7 sacks. 3 came against Colin Kaepernick and the San Francisco 49ers as the Broncos took advantage of poor blocking and pass coverage en route to a 42-17 victory. Ozzy Umenyiora had another poor outing for the Falcons, but that isn't all on him. The defense as a whole is giving up a whopping 28 points per game and only has 7 sacks as a team all year. Jonathan Massaquoi racked up 6 tackles in the contest, but the Baltimore Ravens took advantage of a poor Atlanta defense, winning 29-7. Leotis McKelvin is putting up some crazy numbers. Not only did he rack up 4 tackles, he also picked off the Minnesota Vikings rookie quarterback Teddy Bridgewater twice. That gives McKelvin 3 interceptions on the year. He also racked up 30 yards on just 1 kick return. There's no doubt McKelvin's play was a huge role in the Bills' 17-16 win over the Vikings. Albert Mack didn't post any stats for the Houston Texans this week in a 24-17 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, it should be noted that Mack left the game with an arm injury in the 4th quarter, attempting to recover an onside kick. Brennan Chadwick had 1 tackle in another big win for the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens defeated the Atlanta Falcons 29-7. Dwan Harris had 2 rushing attempts for negative yardage this week, and his lone kick return didn't fare much better. The Packers did get out to an early lead that turned into a 38-17 victory over the Carolina Panthers. Mario Addison had 2 tackles in that same game. The Panthers have been on a slump defensively, and it will be interesting to see if Addison can get to the quarterback more often as the season goes forward to turn that trend around. And wrapping things up with Steve McClendon, the Pittsburgh Steelers nose tackle was sorely missed Monday night as the Houston Texans ran all over the Steelers in the first half. Texans running back Arian Foster had 80 yards alone in the first half. However, the Steelers' late second quarter rally propelled them to a 24-17 win. McClendon is expected to return next week when the Steelers host the Indianapolis Colts. And that was a look at the Trojans and the pros. Until next time, I'm Jacob Harrison. Thank you for joining me.
And the football team is missing a player after a tragic incident took a life earlier this year. The team is remembering this player through actions on the field. A tragic accident took one of the Troy University football players earlier this year. Jadarius Garner was an important part of the Trojan team and had an impact on the other players.
Great friend, great person to talk to. You know, we played the same position, and I was just arriving here when he had been here for a while, so more like good person to talk to when I didn't know what to do with some things, and he was very smart too in school, so that helped a lot too.
I actually got a lot of time. I got to spend a lot of time with him. You know, living with someone, you actually learn, you know, who they really are, and you know, spending night and day around you. You know, he was a person that his spirit touched everyone he was around. So you know, me and G always talked about being on the field together. You know, he was always excited and full of life.
In remembrance of number 55, the players chose to add stickers to their helmets that is a jersey with his number on it. This way, they said they have him with them throughout the season.
It's like that kind of remembrance for him. You know, he's always here with us no matter what, you know. And, you know, if we're ever feeling down or tired during a game, you kind of got to remember how would he play during this play, or how would he be right now at this moment. That's
just a reminder of G's presence. You know, whenever I take my helmet off and look at it, you know, it reminds me of number 55, and it was real important.
He's still a member of this team, and that we haven't forgot about him, and that he always going to be a part of us.
And for Troy's first game of the season against UAB, the captains for the game carried Garner's jersey out to the coin toss to mark him as an honorary captain.
It meant a lot, you know, just taking it out there, kind of get a presence of him being with us for that first game. So it was really important to do that.
It touched me. It just let me know that he always going to be with us no matter what, that we play with his spirits or whatnot. So that just let me know that he's there.
The players made Jadarius Gardner an honorary captain at the first football game of the season. That's all the time we have for Trojan Sports Now. Check us out online at trojanvision.troy.edu to catch anything you missed.
For Clay Yeager, I'm Amy Austin. Thanks for watching, and as always,
Go
Trojans.
Trojans.